training right now on a topic called bicycle spokes. I know it's a weird name, but here's the deal. Okay. Art Williams, the founder of our company, a guy who from scratch as a high school football coach built a business that had 200,000 agents within 13 years. No piece of flesh in the history of the world has ever done that. Said the words that 85% of our time should be spent prospecting. Okay. If you're in fishing, you understand a basic concept. I don't know jack about fishing, but if the fish ain't biting, move. Okay. So the idea is don't just say I've been doing this and I'm not seeing results. No, we should have at all times 5 different ponds we fish from, 5 different methodologies of prospecting, 5 to stay alive. Okay. Do you have your 5? And you can mix it up all day long. You can mix it up. So I'm going to open this up right now and show you a little PowerPoint. Let me share my screen real quick on how to get this done. Here we go. Okay, so this training is called bicycle spokes. I'm going to go through it relatively quickly. Each section in here, I can literally spend an hour on probably, but I'm not going to do that today. But this is going to be forever to overcome the area of concern or the objection in your head, stopping you from having a minimum of 5 different prospecting methodologies. So here we go. First of all, it's a marketing method, you guys. You've heard the saying that all roads lead to Rome. Well, all roads of prospecting methods must lead to one thing and one thing only. That's finding future senior national sales directors. Okay, not even RVPs. We're going for SNSDs. Okay, Art Williams was a marketing genius in creating the Primerica opportunity to be the greatest money-making opportunity in North America. And that's what this is. Make no bones about it. Was Art Williams a crusader? There's never been one better. Did he care about American families having the proper financial products and being healthy? Nobody, there's no evidence that anybody ever cared more than Art Williams, more than any other politician, more than anybody about getting families financially healthy. Was he money motivated? Oh, you have no idea. Okay. He started off small. He wanted to get his family financially independent, but he was absolutely money motivated. And there's a book out there, there's actually a training on my Vimeo channel by Daniel Lapin. Daniel Lapin is an incredible man of God. He's a Messianic Jew. Bottom line is he wrote a book called Thou Shalt Prosper. And he said, you want to show your love to God, then honor him. How do you honor him? By serving people, by serving his people. How do you serve people? You work. Take joy in your work, because when you work, you are honoring God. You're honoring God. So the bicycle spokes method of marketing simply implies that the more bicycle spokes a bicycle has, I know it's a weird name, the less you feel the ups and downs and the potholes and the bumps in the road. Okay. Do you feel like your business is constantly going up and down, up and down, up and down? If that's the case, then you only have 1 or 2 marketing methods. You got to be employing 5 at all times. Okay. In Primerica, bicycle spokes represent different ways of making money, the stabilizing and cushioning your income. And to beat the point of that, if you ever looked at a bicycle tire, if there's only 1 spoke and you're riding your bike down the road and you hit a little, pothole, a little bump in the road, you can implode your tire. You've never seen a bicycle tire with only 1 spoke. That makes no sense. Okay, exactly. So the bottom line is what that looks like is all the people in America that their entire source of income comes from 1 job that they have, and that's it. They just have a job. And if something happens to that job, that one way of making money, now they're devastated. They need to file for unemployment. They're not sure what they're going to do. J. Paul Getty said 120 years ago, I have 1% of my income coming from 100 different places than 100% coming off just me. Okay, so let's go through this. Number 1 method of making money in Primerica, and the absolute best way out there, is regional vice presidents running their own businesses. Okay, running their own businesses. Now, can RVPs plug into my Zoom trainings? Wonderful, absolutely all day long. But I want to know how many teams out there, and now I'm modernizing this message based on Zoom, but how many teams out there are running, like we, for example, we have a Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern time training and a Saturday at 10:30 in the morning training. Well, how many teams out there are running their own mini team training, their own base shop training at 7:05 and at 10:05 on Tuesdays and Saturdays? And I'm not even asking you if you're doing that. My question for you is 1 year from now, how many teams do you want running their own 15, 20-minute training before the meeting? Okay. 5 years from now, how many teams do you want running their own training with their team before the meeting? Okay. We're in business to develop teams who develop teams who develop teams. Okay. It's interesting. You understand, like the court system, there's the Supreme Court. I don't understand this, but there's the federal court, there's appeals courts, there's municipal courts, there's local courts. There's a whole like system. Okay. In politics, there's a whole system. In policing, there's a whole system. Okay. In everything, there's an entire system of small that become bigger, and we need the same exact thing. Okay. So in churches, they understand that does a pastor want a church to eventually be huge and gigantic with thousands of people? Yeah, every pastor wants that. But what they better have is small groups, life groups, and churches have really gotten into that where they have in-home meetings. I'm leading a men's small group on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. just for some men who want to come over and learn about Jesus. And I'm not the senior pastor of the church by any stretch, but I'm doing that, and that's how the church grows. So RVPs running their own teams, okay, is the absolute best way to make money off them. Now, the other way is RVPs in your own. So maybe they're not big enough yet to run their own team. That's fine. Okay, but plug into a team. And if you're an RVP on this call and you're not plugging in anywhere with your very small team at 7:05 and 10:05 Eastern time on Tuesday and Saturday, then you need to plug in with me or plug in with your upline RVP. Plug in somewhere, but you need to have smaller team meetings on a weekly basis to lead a team. Next is full-time base shop reps. I heard Mike Sharp give a great message years ago. He said, sometimes this tornado starts to swell up in your gut about this opportunity. You know it's right. You know you're supposed to go for it. You know you're supposed to be full-time and cut all ties and cut all bridges and really go for it. And he says, it's like a train that you hear pulling up to the station. It's going to stop and you can get on the train or not get on the train. But if you don't get on, it's going to pull out. And he says, the scariest thing is you can miss it and miss it forever. So when you feel that tug, that pull, calling you, it is time. It is time. You know, we have a saying in Primerica, when your part-time income in Primerica exceeds your full-time income in your job, you go full-time. It sounds nice. It sounds cute. It sounds pretty. Almost never works out that way. So at the end of the day, it's going full-time. It's literally like a feeling in your gut, knowing the timing is now. The timing is right. We have to go for it right now. Okay. And by the way, people who made a full commitment, who are full-time, is an incredible spoke in your tire as far as a way of making money in Primerica. And by the way, how do people come full-time? I'll just take a quick minute on that. And the answer is not as complicated as you may think. How does someone come a full-time? They just create a weaning off system. So if somebody has a job, and let's just say they want to come full-time, hypothetically, in 5 more months. We just had our first Zoom RVP go out in 5 months. He joined in April and went to RVP last month. In 5 months, never been to a kitchen table in his life, and now he's a thriving RVP in our organization, which is very cool. So that's the Roger Bannister. Now we want to break it. People can do it in 3 and 4 months, especially in this new Zoom era. So bottom line is, someone says, I want to quit my job within 5 months. Great. What do most people need as far as the percent of their paycheck from their job to live and pay their bills? And the answer is 100%. So how does somebody come full-time? Easy. Okay, they got to wean off their paycheck. So starting this month, in the month of October, whatever month it is, 20% of your paycheck from your job is off limits to you. You have to put it against your mortgage. You have to put it in your IRA. You have to put it someplace where it's not accessible. Okay, it's because you put a payment against your mortgage, you ain't getting that back. You put in your IRA, you're not supposed to pull that out. Someplace unaccessible. Now, for the first time for most of you in your life, Primerica is no longer a hobby. It's no longer a joyride. It's you better make money because you got bills to pay and groceries to buy. And that's a healthy thing. Then the second month, 40%, then 60%, and then 80%. And now you've weaned yourself off. You've strengthened your entrepreneurial muscle. And now you know you can make money in your Primerica business. Next is part-time day shop reps. Primerica offers the greatest opportunity in the face of the earth to come part-time and make an extra couple $1,000 a month. And all I can tell you is more than ever, you guys, more than ever, pandemic and lockdowns and recessions can come at any time. More than ever, people need a plan B to make money. Never forget that 3 out of 4 full-time workers in the United States are officially paycheck to paycheck. And living paycheck to paycheck, where you miss one paycheck, you can't afford groceries, a tank of gas, or pay utility bill, is bad for your heart. It's bad for your cardiovascular health. It is stressful as can be. So an extra couple $1,000 a month coming in every month for life, or a way to make that money, is a blessing to a lot of people. And next is what we call referral partners. Referral partners, okay? And let me just say this. We shouldn't be asking people to come on board as referral partners. But when I do a recruiting deal, I have to say a lot of times that we have 3 positions. We have full-time, part-time, and referral partners. Most are part-time because who couldn't use an extra couple $1,000 a month? Some people fall in love with it, and figuratively, part-time is like dating us. Coming full-time is like marrying us. And they want to go full-time and go for it and make all their dreams come true and make well into 6 figures and $1 million plus a year. And that's awesome. But some people come part-time. All of a sudden, something unexpected happened in life. They got their dream job, whatever. Now they're wondering, was all that time I just spent with you guys, was it a waste of my time? We say no. So listen for a second. The higher they are, the further they fall. One of the things we should try to do a much better job at when we recruit somebody, so they don't want to quit immediately or ask for their money back or whatever, is do a much, much better job in explaining what is worst case scenario. Some of the best advice I've ever gotten years ago was this. Okay, when a wise person said these words to me. Okay, give this wise advice to all your prospects, all your recruits, children, your grandchildren. And the wise advice is simply this: if anybody ever asks you to do anything, a wise person takes a step back and says to themselves, if I say yes, what is worst case scenario? And only if you're okay with worst case scenario, should you move forward. So if somebody says to you, I've got a great idea, let's go rob a bank this afternoon. A wise person takes a step back and says, hold on a second. If we go rob a bank and we get caught, we're getting shot and killed or thrown in jail. I'm not okay with that. So no, I'm not robbing the bank. Wise people only move forward if they're okay with worst case scenario. So this is now worst case scenario Primerica. You get started, you're part-time, and something else happens, now you have no time. Okay, worst case scenario is now you're going to be what's called a referral partner, which means we're going to give you 7 benefits for the rest of your life in exchange for 0 hours a month of commitment. Well, what are those 7 benefits? One is tax deductions. Okay, a lot of stuff you're spending money on anyway. Okay, your cell phone bill, your internet bill, your cable bill, your car repairs, your stuff, paper, toner, printer, all those things can become partially or fully tax deductible based on how much money you're making as a referral partner. Next is knowledge. Man, worst case scenario, you get a phenomenal education about money and finance. And folks, when you talk to young people or any age people, understand that the Bible says people perish for lack of knowledge. That means spiritually, that means physically too. If you eat McDonald's 4 times a day and nobody told you it was bad for you, well, you'll find out whether you knew or not, whether you had knowledge or not, it's bad for you. And it also means financially. People perish for lack of financial knowledge. The knowledge they'll gain about life insurance, IRAs, annuities, stocks, bonds, mutual funds is worth its weight in financial gold to that family, okay? Knowledge is huge. If I was elected president of the United States, I'm not running, but the first thing I would do is I'd pass a law that every single person in America, once they turn 18, they must go to a local Primerica office. They must join. They must work with us for 3 months. They must get their insurance and their investment license. If they don't, they do not get to pass go and collect $200, straight to jail they go. Okay, I'm kidding, but I'm not. Okay, it sickens me that I went from kindergarten to a bachelor's degree from good schools. Not even a lousy 5 minutes was taken to teach me anything about basic personal finance. Not just plain wrong. It's just plain wrong. Next is cell phone discounts. The fact we'll give you a discount with AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint off your cell phone is a huge, huge deal. Okay, 20 to 25% off your cell phone, making it less than free to work with us. They're paying $124, down $25 a month. We'll reimburse that $100. So now just the $25 a month, and then a discount on their cell phone will save them more than that. Commissions on your own products. You think you may ever again need a life insurance policy, shop your auto and home insurance, invest for any future purpose? How about you make the commission instead of somebody else? Sales. How are you making sales working 0 hours a month, every month, every week for the rest of your life? You'll trip over people saying, how am I going to afford to educate these kids? This stock market up and down thing is driving me nuts. I don't know what I'm doing. Man, my insurance premiums are going through the roof. People say stuff like that all the time. When they do say, listen, yes, I can pray for you and I will. However, you need to talk to my friend Joe. Joe's over at a company called Primerica, incredible company to help you get totally financially healthy. Joe will reach out to you in the next 24 hours, arrange a time for you and your spouse to meet him on a quick video meeting, and he'll show you a strategy, plan, and solution to never have complaints about your money again. Okay, overrides. That's what you make when you recruit and train people. How are you going to recruit and train people working 0 hours a month? It's pretty simple. You think ever again for the rest of your life, you'll hear people say words like, I can't stand my boss. I hate my job. I might get laid off. My spouse just got laid off. My kids out of school can't find work. We're tight financially. We're broke, busted, and disgusted, and can hardly be trusted. Okay, all that kind of stuff. And when people speak like that, say, listen, I got a friend named Paul over at Primerica. He's going to reach out to you, call you. And when he reaches out to you and call you, make sure you talk to him right away. He'll show you a strategy to start making money immediately and never have to worry about that stuff again. And then lastly, spare tire. Let's not complicate things. Has anyone ever gotten laid off from a job before? Try millions. You know, most of them have in common. Never in a million years they see that happening to them. Okay, you need a spare tire in the trunk of your car just in case, and everybody needs a spare tire for their paycheck. So please take a screenshot of that. Next is cross-selling as a non-negotiable. We have a training on our app and our Vimeo about the 6 non-licensed products. And listen, I believe that every single new person, the day after they join, should be selling themselves most of those non-licensed products. Every single recruit. Okay, I believe that people need to understand those, get used to them, and offer them every single time. The bottom line is, there's a saying that if a client only does one product or service with you, only a 16% chance they'll still be your client in 10 years. They do 3 or more, there's over a 90% chance they'll still be your client in 10 years. And by the way, clients refer, especially long-term clients. If someone's been with you for a long time, they refer a lot, so you'll get more business when cross-selling is a non-negotiable. Next, people in your phone and your waiting list, okay? Listen, when you're first starting out, or even if you've been here a long time, every single person, so if you were getting married, or if you're later in life and one of you, like me, like one of your kids is going to get married, pretend money was no object. You'd invite everybody to that wedding that you know you care about them, and you know that they care about you. That's who you're going to invite to the family wedding. If that's the case, make a list of those people and schedule appointments and meetings with them ASAP. And we should always be doing that. And by the way, there's people we know now that we did not know 2 years ago, that if we had a family wedding, we'd invite them. So that list is always growing. It's not just your cousins and your family. All right, next, referrals as a non-negotiable. Okay, that's another spoke in your bicycle tire. Referrals is a non-negotiable. One I call 1, 2, 3 teams. Again, there's a referral training in our technology and in our video sections, but When it comes to referrals, one, two, everyone you know who's one, two, three people that would love doing what I'm doing. They would love the idea of coaching people in their finances, coaching people to make more money part-time, eventually quitting their jobs, running their own office, helping us open up multiple locations. Who comes to mind like that? Number two is, who do you know that has two sources of income? A job and a side business, a business and a side job, two different businesses, a job or business and rental properties. Anyone doing more than one thing to make money is exactly the kind of people we're looking for, because they already have separated themselves from the pack. We are always asked people like that. Number three is, if God for something happened to you guys, who's the three couples, 3, 4, or 5 couples you would choose to raise your kids? Something happened to you, or if they're older in life, who would you want to be your pallbearers that day when that day comes? And then specific question. Okay, you're going to church, it's Sunday, it's a beautiful day, you want to go out to lunch with a family. Who's that first family you look for? Okay, it's your family reunion, you're going there, you're excited to see and catch up with a few relatives. Who's that first, second, third relative you're looking for? You're leaving town, you want somebody to have a key to your home, to watch your home, to water your plants, feed your cat, whatever. Okay, who's the first 1, 2, 3 neighbors you would trust with a key to your home to watch over your home if you left town? Okay, it's specific questions. Next is people you do business with. My wife and I, we do kind of like a little jig every time something breaks in our house, every time something goes wrong. Okay, I can't tell you how many times I in my home in Michigan, we have a nice, $13,000-14,000 home theater system. And the bottom line is, when I looked for companies that do that for me, I found one that was privately owned. I called the owner. I said, we're looking to get one, but on one condition. How many employees do you guys have? 8. He said, okay. And when I see your product, see your service, if it's a good price, I'll do business with you on one condition. You give me a chance at your business and your employees to help promote financial help to you and your employees. Well, guess what? I made more money than I paid for that thing. I made a profit to get me a home theater system. Okay. Every time your veterinarian, your dentist, your doctor, your florist, your whoever you do business with, your electrician, your plumber, your roofer, your drywall guy, your painter, whoever you give business to, you should always, before you give the business, say, I'm giving the business on one condition. What's that? No lawyers, a handshake agreement. I want to crack at your business. I promise you, I will not ask you to change anything about your finances if I cannot improve your situation. So for you, there's no risk. Worst case scenario, you get a new client, a free evaluation of your finances and no recommended changes, or you get a new client and an improvement to your financial health. No risk. Do we have a deal? Okay, for you and your employees. Okay, next, employee benefits. Okay, a different method of prospecting should be calling up small businesses, because nobody's helping them with free employee benefits. And what we can do is we can offer, we call our Ben Franklin campaign. In almost every business, employee morale is low. The most guaranteed way to boost morale is easy: announce pay raises. Employers don't have unlimited cash for unlimited raises, so we show employees how to pay less for their insurances, their debt, their utilities, free up money to save. So we offer free F&As. Yes, we can offer a 401k, a 403b, a simple IRA. We also offer something nobody else does called a payroll deduction plan. Totally free for employees to save money from their net paycheck towards saving for their Roth IRAs or Coverdell education IRAs, saving for a car, a house, Christmas, an anniversary trip, whatever they want to save for. So that's a huge deal. And by the way, in this new Zoom era, it's easier than ever to schedule employee meetings with them and their spouse. Next is networking groups. Listen, I make between 1.2 and $1.3 million a year. I'm in 2 weekly networking groups. Okay. So there's different names for them, but every one of us should be in those. You meet those people, you get to know those people, you're in front of them now. So just to be clear, I treat it different than most people. I treat it like an opportunity meeting, where every week, everybody else is inviting guests for me. Okay, the way I treat it is, if a guest shows up, I'm getting their card. If they don't show up the following week, I'm all over them to try to recruit them. I've gotten more results from that than any other aspect of the networking group. Okay, that's been a big thing for me because who understands the chambers of commerce? Who understands you should go to those meetings? We're not looking for people, you guys. People are everywhere. We're not looking for people. We're looking for motivated people. Hint, hint, hint. If you're looking for motivated people, then go to where motivated people go to. Okay, hope that helped you guys. Next, social media. There's a new training on LinkedIn marketing right now on the Vimeo channel. I think the app too. Facebook, Instagram, social media prospecting. Don't be flinging stuff on your wall or posting stuff as much as you do private messaging directly to them. Okay, private messaging directly to them. Ask them they're open to a conversation. Share a little bit of info and ask them they're open to a conversation. But every day, LinkedIn, connect with people who are looking for opportunities. There's a training on that. Facebook, Instagram, they're posting about their problems. Okay, so put general stuff on your social media, very general, very compliant. We have a whole compliance section on that. But private message people, not cut and paste stuff, but make sure the first sentence is customized for them. Ask them for a time to speak, and doing that 5, 10, 15, 20 times a day, okay? Every single day. That's huge. Next, client centers. I spend a lot of my time prospecting accountants, mortgage reps, okay, real estate agents, independent insurance agents, auto and home insurance agencies, health insurance people. My message for them is very simple. You're offering the burger, not the fries and Coke. Do you want to end up like Toys R Us and Radio Shack, or like Costco, Sam's, and Walmart and Amazon? In other words, let me show you how you can expand your menu, help your clients more, and make more money. When they market our stuff to their client base, we get paid. That's a huge way too. Next is client centers, okay? And by the way, that previous one, if you go to my training that's on the video sections called 5 Ways I Market, you'll see way more detail about client centers, about financial service arms, about recruiting across the kitchen table, and about employer benefits. So way more details about that. Next is hairdressers, dentists. We can offer. We have a video coming out hopefully in the next week or two, showing small business owners how to open their mind to opening a financial service arm. I just recently was referred to a small business owner of a client, and he is got several kids, and one of his kids is now. I'm always trying to recruit their kids. Most small business owners are terrified at their kids ever following them in business because they don't love their business anyway. But most small business owners are rich in contacts, rich in prospects, rich in relationships, and poor in money and poor in time. So they got kids, we can work with their kids, and then off to the races we go, helping those contacts. Next, calling managers. Listen, and there's a training on this. I'm going to put on the website soon. But bottom line is, it is that right now, this message is on my asaadfaraj.com, which you can also access through the Freedom Fighters app. But it's very simple. What if every morning early and every night late, you call managers? Who are you going to call? Who's open? Who's open at 6:30 in the morning? Starbucks, Denny's, Panera Bread, Burger King, Waffle House, whatever. Who's open at 10 o'clock at night? Taco Bell, Burger King, whatever, all these different places. Okay, Holiday Inn, Marriott, Hilton, they're all open early and late. So what if you strategically call managers early and late? Why early and late? Because their hours suck. What does that mean? Then they probably hate their jobs. And when you call them, just ask the manager and say something like this. And I got a whole training on this, but listen, the reason I'm calling is, first of all, I want to assume 2 things about you and your job. One is you are a talented, honest, hardworking person, great in organizational skills, leadership skills, punctuality. That's why they made you the manager of a multi-million-dollar business. So start off with compliments. Second, maybe you don't love your job, because if you're there at 6:30 in the morning, not sure what time you had to wake up, was probably super early. Not sure if you love your job, but if you're there at 10 o'clock at night, not sure what time you're getting to bed, but probably not excited about that. So are you open to a better opportunity if it came along? give a little commercial about us. We're a massive Fortune 1000 financial services company, expanding heavily right now, looking for great people. We have documented more people making 100,000 a year, 500,000 a year than any company in the United States. And we offer full ownership to those willing to work hard and commit to us. So what is the best way for me to contact you? Can I get your number? And what's a great time when you're not working? We can have an open conversation, something like that. But there's a training on my website, asaadfaraj.com. Next, the thank you letter system. Great way too. That's why we're going to go a little bit over. I apologize, but it's worth it. The thank you letter system is powerful. What if every day you decide to shop for a different thing and call 5 places? So today you want to shop for flat screen TVs. You call 5 places that sell them, and you ask for their best salesperson or whoever's most quickly available. And you say, listen, I'm looking to buy a big flat screen TV. What is your favorite product based on price, quality, picture, blah, blah? Which one would you buy? Is the best bang for the buck? I get the Sony 72-inch, whatever. Wonderful. What is your name? Mike Smith. Where do you work? I work at the college. Wonderful. Okay, send Mike Smith a thank you letter. Okay, Mike, don't say it was over the phone. I was in the market for a flat screen TV. You were so professional, kind, encouraging, thoughtful, knowledgeable. Appreciate that so much. Not many like you nowadays. Appreciate your professionalism. That's it. And then a few days after, call them and say, I sent you a thank you. Oh, that was you? Again, don't say you shopped over the phone. They don't remember. And say, listen, the reason I'm calling you now is I've been thinking you're probably way overqualified for what you do. Are you open if something better came on? What if you did that 5 times a day, every single day? Imagine what you would get from it. Okay. Next, prospecting as you go. The 3-foot rule. Okay. So everywhere you go, you meet people. When you meet people, get them talking. Don't blab about us. Get them talking about their most favorite subject in the entire world, which is themselves. And when you're about to leave them, ask them for their name and a way to contact them. Next, job fairs. Social media, LinkedIn, I talked about that. But job fairs is huge. And nowadays they're doing virtual job fairs. We're looking for people who are looking for opportunity, you guys. And do they charge you to get in there? Yes. But you can say, listen, I'm always recruiting people. I'm probably a major recruiter, a major company. I got a deal for you. Let me do the first one for free. And if it goes well, if I get some good prospects, I will pay for every one in the future. That's huge too. Next is want ads. There's a guy on this training, Greg Harris. I'm not sure if you're still there, but I met Greg, okay, through an ad in the newspaper. You never know. Okay. I know there's, things have changed a lot. Churches, ministries, nonprofits, every one of those companies, you guys, have a following of people that love them, adore them, want them to prosper, want them to have finances to keep doing more of what they do. And every one of them need money, and they have a following of people. So a method is teach how money works to their following. A Faith Over Finance teaching, my book, Faith Over Finance on Amazon, to their following. And then once that's done, hand out a questionnaire and arrange a time to meet with them. And if they do business with us, donate 10% or more back to that nonprofit, that church, or that ministry. And it's a tremendous way to help them and help their people. Next, door to door. Okay. Edward Jones is a massive financial service company with offices all across their country. They have pretty much have one prospecting method. At 5:01 p.m., they're out of their office, in the neighborhoods near their office, knocking on doors, introducing themselves. Okay, I know there's social distancing and stuff now, but have a cool mask on, have a clipboard, whatever you need. But everything works if you do it. And lastly, retail customer surveys. If you know people that own retail businesses, you can ask for a little spot in their location, a little 5x5, set up a table, offer some free candy giveaways, whatever, and some free brochures on how money works. And if 100 people a day walk in, only 1 or 2 stop by, sorry, you only make an extra $1,000, $2,000 a day. Okay, that's what it takes to build a business here. So hopefully this training helped you guys. I want to encourage you. There's so many different things you can be doing, but make sure that you're always focused on doing a minimum of 5. I've done every one of those. Play around with it. but there's no excuse for all of us not to be doing a minimum of 5 methods of prospecting, 5 to stay alive, 5 ponds to fish from. God bless you guys. If we can cut the recording,